Hi children, it's Miss Tina again. Can you tell what I'm sitting in? I'm sitting in a tent. And the book I'm going to read to you today is Boris Goes Camping. This is Boris. Boris is a big brown bear. The day that Miss Cluck was taking the class camping, everyone was very excited. When Miss Cluck said that it was almost time to set off, all the animals squealed with delight. Letitia the rabbit had her butterfly net. Maxwell the mole clutched his teddy. The little mice each had a basket. Fergus the fox cub was given the map. And Boris was in charge of absolutely everything else. For Boris was an enormous, hairy, scary, grizzly bear. But he was also rather kind and helpful. "Bravo," said Miss Cluck as Boris heaved the huge bag on his back. "What would we do without you?" she said. Miss Cluck and her class set off through the woods. Letitia chased after butterflies. Fergus puzzled over the map. Maxwell's teddy got stuck up in a tree, and the little mice struggled with their baskets. Eventually Boris caught up with them all. Poor Miss Cluck blew her whistle. "This really won't do," she said. "We must stay together." Then Boris had an idea. He found room for everything in his bag, even the tired mice. "Bravo, Boris," cheered his friends. Look, he's got everything in the backpack. Before long, they came to a little bridge. Boris and Letitia dropped twigs into the stream. Then everyone rushed to the other side of the bridge to see whose stick would come out first. But somehow Boris forgot about his big bag on his back. And somehow Maxwell's teddy went splash into the water. Somehow the mice managed to cling on. Maxwell let out an enormous wail. "Oh, Boris!" he cried. Poor Boris felt very clumsy and ashamed. Miss Cluck carefully leaned over the bridge with Letitia's butterfly net. But it was no good. Teddy was floating away. Boris decided it was time to be very brave. He leapt into the water. Splash! All the way up to his knees. Boris scooped Teddy safely out of the water, and now there were 2 dripping wet bears, and Maxwell hugged them both. "Boris is the biggest, bravest, best bear," said Maxwell. "Bravo, Boris," agreed Miss Cluck. "Now let's set up camp before there are any more accidents." The animals gathered around while Miss Cluck explained how to build a teepee. It all sounded very easy. Letitia and Maxwell collected long sticks. The mice chewed off some lengths of rope. Boris helped Fergus spread out the canvas. Then they all tried to put it together. But it was not easy at all. Miss Tina used some sticks to put up this tent. Once the teepee was up, the fun really began. Miss Cluck got out a new box of chalks and let everyone draw on the teepee. It looked wonderful. Boris put Maxwell's teddy on the top to dry. And off they went to pick berries for supper. Miss Cluck showed them which ones were good to eat. Boris carried the full baskets while the other animals hurried excitedly back to camp. But when they got there, they were in for a shock. Oh no! What happened? The teepee fell down. For their wonderful teepee wasn't quite so wonderful anymore. Someone had drawn all over Miss Cluck's face, and someone had pulled all the sticks, and someone was going to be in big trouble. Miss Cluck was very, very angry indeed. She marched straight up to the bulging canvas, reached underneath, and pulled out 2 very naughty little wolf cubs. The cubs wriggled and struggled. Do your parents know you are out in the woods alone? Asked Miss Cluck in her firmest voice. We don't care, yelled one of the cubs rudely. Our daddy is who? The big, bad wolf. He's much bigger than you are, said the other one even more rudely, and he likes to eat chickens for supper, boomed Boris with a great big berry-stained grin. Yikes! It's a grizzly bear! Help! It's a hungry bear! Whew, said Miss Cluck. It's Boris Bear. So look, Boris helped scare the wolf cubs away. The naughty little wolf cubs turned on their heels and fled. Boris was most confused. Oh, Boris, what a brave bear you are, smiled Miss Cluck. Now let's put the teepee back together. That evening, Boris and his friends ate a supper of toasted marshmallows and berries until the sun went down. Then Miss Cluck got out her guitar and they sang songs under the stars. Boris felt his eyelids grow heavy. It was tiring being a big, brave bear. I think I'll go to bed now, he yawned. Boris snuggled down happily inside the teepee and was soon snoring. A little later, Fergus, then Letitia, Maxwell with Teddy, the mice, and Miss Cluck crept into the teepee. There wasn't much room for nobody, but nobody minded a bit. After all, everyone had a nice, soft place to sleep. Even Miss Cluck. Bravo, Boris, she whispered, as she fell asleep. You see where she is? She is on top of Boris's belly. I hope you enjoyed that book of Boris Goes Camping. Maybe you and your families can pitch a tent in the backyard and spend the night there. That would be lots of fun. See you all soon. Bye!